Hello, it's me, Emma, with the new YouTube channel, Read the World. 2 months ago, I was living in Seoul, South Korea as a graduate student, having a great time. I had a ton of friends. There was very mild weather there, really excellent public transportation, a wide variety of international food. And now I have graduated, and I'm back to my hometown in suburban Minnesota, where it is February, and it looks like this, which is beautiful, but I want to go inside and find out what even is there to read here. Here it is, folks. I could be trapped in here for days and never run out of things to read. We're going to focus on these shelves up here. That'll be good. Ooh, look at this. Sexy mood lighting. It's called Being Trapped in the Purgatory of a Dark Room After Graduation. Okay, we have some manga, various volumes of The Boxcar Children, and other children's books. Okay, I do want to reread Fablehaven and see how well it holds up in my adulthood, but perhaps not for this video in particular. We have got some of my sister's book club books. Oh, Philip Pullman. Okay, interesting. We've got some classics. We've got some French that I can't read. Got our beloved Harry Potter books of childhood. Some more manga. Okay. I have been wanting to read All the Light We Cannot See and Legendborn. I've read The Raven Boys. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Legendborn. Here we go. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Come to me. Okay, this is book number 1 that we're going to read. Set you down right here by the photo albums. What else is up here? Okay, we've got Anne of Green Gables. I do want to read that at some point. The Hobbit, The Hunger Games, the Betsy Tacy books. We've got some vintage classics over here. We've got Laura Ingalls Wilder. We've got some Nancy Drew. We've got some various picture books. Okay, well, I got one of my sister's books. I want to get a range of family members. There's so many people in this house. I'm going to get a range of representation. Okay, what's over here? We've got, let's see, this is generally, unless I want to be reading some art history right now, which I don't really want to, but I think this shelf does not have many options. So we're going to look up here. We've got half the alphabet over here. I have been listening to this series. And I'm on H, so like I'm just missed it. And then we've got some Anne Rice. Okay. I haven't read any Anne Rice. I feel like this now is the time. Oh man. Look at this fabulous copy of Interview with a Vampire. I mean, how can I resist? Okay, I had to haul the chair over. We've got some more mysterious shadows over here. We have what is going on? The 4 stages of cruelty. That sounds really interesting. Ooh, is this a graphic novel? Nope, no, it's not. Keith Holloman. Interesting. Well, never heard of that at all. Could be a wild card. The Rainbow Study Bible. Fascinating. We've got London. The Cape Ann. They Whisper. Ooh. A spicy penguin classic. Okay. Oh, I'm never gonna. Okay. Oh, there we go. Look how talented I am at putting things back one-handed. The Fall of a Sparrow. Crossing to Safety. The Unvanquished. Let's see. Jean Stafford. Rumi. The Book of Love. Oh. Okay. got lots of classics. I do want to read 1Q84, but not right now. That's a big one. I have read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Love in the Time of Cholera, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Collected stories. Mm-hmm. Oh, I do. I read The Road. I've been wanting to read No Country for Old Men. Ooh, more. Wow, so we've got a collection. Oh, this is all MCarthy. Okay. Confederacy of Dunces. I've tried to read Catch 22 two separate times, and I just find it insufferable. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. We've got Steinbeck. I've read East of Eden, loved that one. Not the other one. Old Man the Sea. I have read Ender's Game. I've read Interpreter of Maladies. That's a good one. John Updike. A lot of that. Ooh, so many classics. Okay, and then down here we have more classics. Angelou, Morrison. We've got some more contemporary stuff, right? This is more contemporary, isn't it? Some mystery. I tried reading this series and I just wasn't a fan. Of course I've read Emma, obviously. We've got some good old-fashioned Nancy Drews. And Eloisa May Alcott. We have all of my mother's Jennifer books. Guess what her name is? My mother. T.S. Eliot. So many classics. The Portrait of a Lady. Oh, Henry James. Well, I'm not sure. Okay, well, okay, I feel like I gotta read a classic. You know, I have a YA, I have a classic, I have like a supernatural. I feel like I gotta pick a classic that I haven't read yet. But I have been really wanting to read No Country for Old Men. I'm gonna do it. Okay. All right. Okay. We have. I've never heard of Gantz before. Yeah. Is that a new one that you have? Is that a new acquisition?
It's the past few years.
Okay. It's very impressive. 12 omnibuses.
Yeah. I don't think you would like it.
Why not?
It's
Is it gross?
Yes.
Okay.
By just about every definition of the word.
All right. Good to know. Oh, here are the books. Yep. Have you read Snow Crash and Battle Royale?
I started Snow Crash. I didn't get super far, and I'm still planning on reading Battle Royale.
Okay. You know, can I take a bunch of volumes of Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
I've kind of been thinking about that one.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so I'm about halfway through Legendborn, and I'm obsessed to make things brief. I've already been bringing it up in conversation because I'm annoying. So Legendborn is like if all of the 2010s young adult fantasy romance type stuff actually had a point and was trying to say something. For example, a lot of it really reminds me of The Mortal Instruments, which I was obsessed with in middle school. So, you know, young girl finds out about magical society that is hidden in mainstream society and an organization of demon hunters. So that's both Mortal Instruments and Legendborn. But while Mortal Instruments is just like for funsies, Legendborn actually is trying to say something about like the racial dynamics and implications of a lot of young adult fantasy tropes, and like examines that with the Black main character. The main character is recovering from the death of her mother, obviously, because it's still a young adult fantasy book, but she's very assertive and gets stuff done. And like if someone isn't being nice to her, then she'll immediately like call them out on it. She's very proactive and smart. Like she's not your typical bumbling, clueless young adult heroine, which I just love. And there is a budding romance between her and one of the guys in this demon hunting organization that just right away has incredible chemistry. And so I'm really digging that. So far, really big fan. Like this might be a 5-star. So that's very exciting. Okay, hello, listen. I finished Legendborn. So I really liked the first most of it, but then like the last quarter of it was so good. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Where do I even begin? Like there is a reveal that I did not see coming. And it was so perfect. Like it was, oh my gosh. It was stunning and emotional in the context of the magic and the world, just really added so much depth. I really think YA does romance, I don't want to say better. YA romance has certain strengths that I feel like adult romance does not have. Adult romance has different strengths. It's just that like I feel like YA romance is able to just like craft those perfect butterfly moments, a good like an amazing kiss, like those wonderful butterflies, you know? And there is the beginnings of like some tensions around a love triangle, which I don't agree with, but it kind of worked. I hope that it doesn't become a full out love triangle. But also if it did, I wouldn't be mad. So anyway, the end really clinches how the magic works, how the relationships are developing, and really drives home all of the themes about how fantasy intertwines with racist institutions, but in a way that makes so much sense and isn't preachy. It just makes so much sense with the story, but then is also so powerful. I recently read Kindred by Octavia Butler, which I think is such a great pairing for this book because it touches on some shockingly similar, not just themes, but like plot devices. And I can't say anything to spoil it because you have to read this. You have to. I think this is going to be one of my favorite books of the year. It was just incredible. 5 stars to Legendborn. And then I'm about 100 pages into No Country for Old Men. And this novel, like it's good, but it's also just it's such a boy's book. It's such a man's manly, we are manly man. I am manly man who shoots people and steals money and sells drugs. I am manly police officer. I am manly man who steals money and not talk to wife. I am manly man who shoot gun and say little. You know, it's like that. And normally I would not care. But Cormac McCarthy writes in such like a descriptive, compelling way that it makes me care about the manly man situation. Do I care whether any of these characters will live or die? Absolutely not. That's maybe the point. You're just along for the ride. I do think Mr. McCormick's style of questionable to zero grammar is annoying, but it does make me slow down as I read and like pay more attention, which I really think I need to do because I can read it very fast because there's so much like brief dialogue. I can really zoom through it. So far I'm having a good time, but I was kind of expecting it to blow me away because The Road is just such an incredible classic. I thought it was going to be on that level, and it's not quite getting me the way The Road did. I'll update you when I finish it. That's how we're looking so far. Hello, I finished No Country for Old Men, and I liked the premise a lot. I stand by everything I said at the beginning of the book, but I just feel like it didn't go beyond that premise very much for me. How am I framing this? Ta-da! Here we go. It didn't go beyond that premise very much for me. Like, yeah, dude is running from the people he stole drugs from, and there's much suffering and evil. And just, you know, the themes that were present about good and evil, fate, generational conflict, stuff like that, it just didn't really make me think anything new about those ideas. So it just didn't really do a lot for me. I thought it was fine. If any of that appeals to you, pick it up, but I was okay. Also, I did read all of Interview with the Vampire. Oh dear. Oh no. What's happening to this copy? I meant to do like a halfway check-in about it to give my thoughts, but there was craziness this past week, so that didn't happen. I loved it. I loved the vampire-ness. I love some takes on vampires, and I like serious vampires. I mean, I think silly vampires can also. Listen, okay, actually, I love silly vampires and serious vampires, and this is serious vampires. Serious vampire lore. I loved all the exploration of the implications of vampire nature. I thought that was very cool, very fun. And then I loved thinking about like the influence this must have had on contemporary depictions of vampires in pop culture. I thought that all the different things going on in the story was really fun. There's not like a very solid plot arc. There's kind of more plot near the end, but it's a lot of just like this new vampire is learning what it means to be a vampire. But then also, I thought there was so much interesting stuff about relationships, about what makes a good relationship. I thought that was really fascinating. This one also talks about good versus evil, but in like an interesting vampire way of like, if you are a vampire who cannot help but need to eat people, is that evil? Is that not evil? What does that mean when it comes to good versus evil? What makes someone a bad person when it comes to certain predilections, certain needs and urges? Yeah, just some interesting thoughts about what does it mean to have power, to have influence over other people, even if those other people also have power. Yeah, what is power? I don't know. I just think this had a lot to say. Anyway, so that means that all I have left is Chainsaw Man. Oh, that's upside down. Ugh. Ugh. Here we go. I've got Chainsaw Man, 5 volumes. And I can usually zoom through a volume of manga pretty quick, so let's see how long it takes me. Okay, so I finished Chainsaw Man volumes 1 through 5. I will say it is fun. I love the art. I especially love the art in the fight scenes. I love the illustrations of the different demons and monsters. I think that the way that people's powers work are really interesting and cool. And it is genuinely funny. It did get some chuckles out of me. And I think that is commendable. I suppose this could really change my opinion depending on where it goes. But right now, as of these first 5 volumes, and that's, look at that. That's a lot of pages, okay? As of all of this, the main plot is main character Denji, who looks like that when he's Chainsaw Man and looks like that when he is a teenage boy, is reckoning with his newfound demon powers, but he grew up in intense poverty and without anyone really caring for him and just all on his own. And now he is learning how to actually be around people and to have connections with others, which could be so great and so interesting, like a great emotional journey for him. But how it is currently manifesting is that he's just having intense, how do I say this in an internet appropriate way? Can you say on the internet that he's just super horny all the time for everyone? Just blatantly, constantly, exhaustingly? And that emotional journey for him is basically just learning that women are people. And people being like, oh, actually, did you know that physical affection, like being physical with a woman is actually better if you know her well and you have a physical connection with her? He's like, what? I had no idea. And I totally understand that that is a journey that some people have to go through, of being a teenager, and having to learn how to balance your physical desires with human decency. But for me, as an adult woman who has had to consume stories about men having to learn that women are people so much, I'm tired. And it's just not impressive to me. I will probably keep reading these because I want to know what happens with the gun demon. And then, maybe I'll see some incredible character growth. But as of right now, that aspect of it is just grating. So, all in all, here is my stack of all the books that I read that were already in my parents' house. We've got young adult, dark classic, vampire classic, and contemporary manga. Very different from each other. And overall, I'd say show a definite high caliber of taste in literature in this household. I think that there are great merits in everyone. I didn't enjoy 100% of it. I loved Legendborn and Interview with the Vampire. Didn't love No Country for Old Men or Chainsaw Man. I liked them just fine. Okay, and liked just fine, but with criticisms. I love the range here, and it really does increase my appreciation for my family and their range of interests, and I was really glad to be able to talk to them about all of these things that I was able to read. I would love to see other people sharing the books that are already in people's houses and exploring those options. I loved just being able to spend this time while getting used to being back in Minnesota once again. So, hope you got as much out of this as I did. Toodles.